The Anglo-Saxon period is marked by war and bloodshed, pillaging, superstition, and hardship among the people. However, a lesser known and quite intriguing aspect of the Anglo-Saxon lifestyle is that of its medicine. From cures and antidotes based in superstition to some basic misconceptions of human anatomy, the practices can't help but capture the interests of those who stumble upon them. The following is a brief overview of the major themes of Anglo-Saxon medicine and what history has found thus far, exposing the medical practices of the past. Section 1. The Leech. This is a leech. Though one of the most grotesque and misunderstood creatures found in nature, where does the leech get its name? The answer to this question requires us to venture into our first medical practice of the Anglo-Saxons, bloodletting. At this time in history, it was generally believed that disease was caused by demons possessing one's soul and manifesting itself as an illness that the world could see. For those Anglo-Saxon physicians that were particularly well educated, they knew, of course, that illness was caused by bad blood. Because of this, they would have to get rid of this blood by cutting slits in semi-specific places on the arm, and letting the bad blood run free, thus curing the person. In most cases, this led to infection, and then an even worse death than that of the original illness. However, this remained one of the top cures for the ailments of the time, and the reason the leech currently has its name. Though modern-day blood-sucking parasitic invertebrate demon worms, leeches, get its name from early doctors bleeding people through slits in their arms, this was not the sole set of cures for differing illnesses, as detailed in Section 2. Bald's Leech Book. Derived from ancient Greek and Roman medicine, Bald's Leech Book would have been the pinnacle of medical knowledge for its time. Currently held in the British Library, this book of Old English remedies was written around 925 to 950 AD. The book contained remedies from not just the English Isles, but also mainland Europe and even the Middle East. There are passages addressed to King Alfred, in addition to remedies to some of the most common ailments of the times, spread throughout the Isles by elves, fairies, and gnomes. This is one of the first examples of medical literature in Anglo-Saxon Britain, and maintains great historical importance today. While the Leech Book was one example of medical literature specifying a variety of medical practices, there were also books dedicated to early forms of pharmacists, which brings us to our third and final stop on our journey through Anglo-Saxon medicine.
The Anglo-Saxon herbs, Jesse. We need to cook them.
Section 3. Anglo-Saxon Herbalists. Held in the British Library is the only surviving illustrated Old English herbal, a book of herbs and creatures that could be ground into potions, salves, and ointments that could be used to cure a wide assortment of illnesses. Now, unlike what popular culture wants you to believe, eye of newt and tongue of frog were not the common ingredients in the average leech's potion. In fact, there were many four-legged animals that had fur that supposedly hold medicinal properties. So in reality, it would be the head of a dog or the bones of a badger in the potion. Also in this book are various translations from Latin and Greek of plants and animals not even found in England. For example, elephants and licorice. Even with this book's questionable reliability, it still remained in use up through the 16th century. Our final look at Anglo-Saxon herbalist and potion books comes from the Lacugna, which means remedies in Old English. The book contains hundreds of cures for ailments from headaches to hangnails. Some of the cures are as simple as placing bags of specifically picked leaves under a sleeping woman. in some more complex concoctions of herbs steeped and mixed over a long period of time. There are even some cures that revolve around chants and prayers. For example, in the case that one drinks an insect, which happen more often than you think, you must sing a song into a man's right ear. In the event that it is a woman, you must use the left ear, because, as everyone knows, all women were left ear dominant in the year 500 AD, or something like that. Then you must say the Our Father in the ear that you sing in, because God fixes all of your problems in Anglo-Saxon times, even swallowed bugs. Though not all cures were quite this simple, many were no more than a quick prayer or chant. And now, friends, it is time that our journey comes to an end. We have now sojourned through a brief history of Anglo-Saxon medicine, from leeches and leech books to herbs, potions, and chants. The medicine of the period was as bizarre as it is fascinating. It is by observing the remedies of the past that medicine has increased its knowledge in the future. It is on the shoulders of leeches that at least portions of our current medicine is mounted on. Thank you.
Whisper in my ear, make my troubles disappear. It's magic.